We've got some breaking news now. Representative Tom Emmer has won the Republican nomination for Speaker. The representative from Minnesota, he was the likely favorite heading in and now has received that nomination. I want to bring in Joe Khalil, joining us live once again from Capitol Hill. So they've got their guy. Do they have their votes?
Yeah, so this is a big development here. Tom Emmer has wrapped it up. The tally, we're still waiting to see. The initial reports are that he won 117 to 97, meaning he got a majority of House Republicans, but not a whole lot more than a majority. 117 to 97 is still almost a 50-50 vote. So the question is going to be, right now, does he have enough support to take those 97 that voted against him and add to his total? He is going to need 217. That is the number that Tom Emmer needs. Now, the reason that we bring this up immediately, I don't want to diminish Tom Emmer actually winning the nomination here, Marni, but we've seen two other people win the nomination just recently, Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise, and neither one won enough support to actually become Speaker of the House. So is it going to be different now for Tom Emmer? I am told that once this is totally wrapped up here, they're going to do one more vote, and there's not going to be any other name on the ballot. It's just going to be Tom Emmer. Who in this room supports Tom Emmer? And if that number ends up being 217 Republicans, the party's going to pretty quickly go to the House floor and try to elect him Speaker. The reason that may run into some issues is that on the previous two ballots, you had at least 6 Republicans vote present or vote for other, meaning somebody other than who's running right now. And 6, as we know, is enough Republicans to block Tom Emmer from actually winning the gavel. Republicans' majority in the House is so small that just 6 of them actually can do that. And that's frankly what we saw in the previous few rounds. It was only a handful of people that ousted Kevin McCarthy, right? It was 8. So Tom Emmer is going to need to pick up some of those people who are voting against him now, and we're going to see if that happens. I can tell you there are a number of Republicans here who have said, let's move on. We want to get on with the business of getting a speaker so that we can pass aid to Israel and do all the other things that the House wants to do. It's just simply not clear at the moment that Tom Emmer is going to be the guy who can do that. Nonetheless, he garnered enough support, so this is a major development here. It is the third time a charm for Republicans to replace Kevin McCarthy. We are going to be finding out here momentarily, Marni.
Joe, we've heard a little bit about this unity pledge. Who does that apply to, and where does that stand before they take this to a vote on the floor?
So the unity pledge was whether all Republicans who are running for Speaker, the 8 initial who threw their name in the hat, whether they were going to support whomever the nominee was. And we heard, when there were 3 or 4 names left, Byron Donalds voluntarily took himself out of the running. We heard him say, I'm coming out and I'm going to support whoever the best guy is. Presumably that means he is on board with the pledge. So that really applied to the people who were running specifically. The problem is you got 8 people running and you have 200 or plus more who are not running, who didn't have to necessarily take that pledge. And frankly, we've seen disunity in the party as this process has continued on. So the question is going to be, again, 217. Who can get there? Can Tom Emmer be the guy to unite the party? Now, there are 2 options here. They could rush to the floor right away if they think they have it. If he doesn't, it's going to be up to Tom Emmer now as the designee, as the nominee, when they go to the House floor. He gets to make that decision. So he could say, you know what, let's take a day, let's come back tomorrow and vote. And he could spend these next 24 hours trying to garner the support and whip up the votes. And actually, his current position, House Majority Whip, that is his job anyway. If they were passing a budget bill, the whip's job is to go member to member and to try to garner enough support for the bill. So this is what he does every day. Maybe he's better suited than Jordan or Scalise to do this, but that's going to be the challenge for him, for his allies, and frankly, for the vast majority of the party who wants to get this wrapped up and done as soon as possible.
Finally, Joe, what has Representative Emmer said about the job, his desire to do it, to coalesce the party? In the last 24 hours, any rumblings from his camp?
Yeah, he has said that the reason he wants to run is a few things. He thinks he can be the guy that unites the party, and clearly this party needs uniting right now. He also said, and I thought this was really important, he stressed that he is going to be honest with the conference. He's never going to promise them anything he cannot deliver on.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.